What you are watching is real. This is the actual 1988 police interrogation of Dorothea Puente, released years later into the public domain. Watch her closely, because almost everything about her is designed to be reassuring.
So from 1978 to 1982, you lived there, and do you remember who lived there before you?
No. I don't. No,
You don't remember?
No. But I've only had the downstairs for a year.
Who lived down there?
Well, I mean, I don't have the downstairs, but I collect the rent from my nephew.
Okay.
He lived there before.
What's his name?
Ricardo Ordorica. Ordorica.
Does he live here in Sacramento?
Yes. I don't remember the address.
How old is he?
About 50, 48, something like that.
Okay, approximately. He's in Sacto too, right?
Yes.
He's the owner of the property,
Right.
And you lease the property.
Right. Well, I pay monthly rent, you know. We've never signed an agreement.
Okay.
But they rented the place out while I was gone, but the utilities stayed in my name. And
So the utilities of the property are in your name?
Uh-huh.
Who pays taxes on the
My nephew.
He pays it.
Uh-huh.
So you pay all the utilities on the property is in your name.
Uh-huh.
And you have a verbal agreement lease
Right.
that you are to live there and
Right.
maintain and take care of the property?
Right. When I was gone, he rented my apartment out, but kept the utilities under Montalvo, which was one of my married names. Yeah, I'll show
Okay.
you my ID.
So you have Dorothea Montalvo,
Yes.
and you're also
But I was
Dorothea
born-
Puente?
I was born Puente, and I was married to a Montalvo, and I was married to a Puente.
You were born Montalvo, right?
No, I was born Puente,
Puente. Where were you born?
Redlands, California.
Redlands, okay. Okay.
And I was in CIW under Montalvo,
Okay.
and with the feds.
To her Sacramento neighbors, Puente was a kind, elderly landlady who took in the people no one else would. That reputation was not an accident. It was the most important tool she had.
You're under Puente. Right. Okay. Now, the questions we need to ask you, I need all the truth from you. Okay. Number one is going back. Of course, you know how this whole thing got started was because of this last individual,
Right.
Montoya.
Right.
Now, his disappearance is very suspicious. I can tell you that. Even the things that you said didn't even quite connect with what the other individual told us when she spoke to you. There were a lot of inconsistencies in your statement.
Well, you know, I didn't think I was ever going to have to remember everything. And
That's fine. I mean, I can understand that, and you explained that to us. But there's just a lot of inconsistencies. Also,
if they get in touch with you, I mean, wouldn't that?
I'd have to physically see.
Right, right.
Now, as far as the social worker, he had no relatives known to her and never mentioned of any. But he had mentioned at one time that he wanted to move from your place.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to stay there anymore. And then we talked to Mr. Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Sharp says he hasn't seen him for 3 months. But you said the other day.
Yeah,
And the
funny.
social worker hasn't seen him. So who is lying to me? Who is lying to me, Dorothea?
Well, I'm not. He was there Saturday and Sunday.
How can Mr. Sharp...
Well, he doesn't even associate with the other people.
Mr. Sharp also told us that you had told him to lie
I did not.
about saying that he was there, because he later told us that
I
you
did
told him to
not.
lie.
In fact, I had asked Mr. Sharp to move.
When did you ask him that?
Let's see. He couldn't pay rent 1 month, October, because he won his money
Drinking.
gambling.
Gambling.
I don't know if he drinks or not.
Okay.
And that was the second time that he had done that since he'd been there. And it makes it hard.
Her tenants were the vulnerable. The elderly, the disabled, the addicted, the mentally ill. people who received small government benefit checks every month, and whose absence almost no one would notice or report.
To come up for the rent, and so he finally paid me on the 3rd. And I asked him if he would move when his rent was...
Why would Mr. Sharp tell us...
Because he's mad because I'm making him move.
That he hasn't seen you for 3 months. Also, Ben. Now, how long did Ben live there?
Just 2 months.
Okay, so Ben Fink lived there 2 months.
Right.
Did, let me see, who would have known him? Did Melvin know Ben?
Who?
Melvin, or John. You call him John.
You mean Mervyn?
Mervyn, yeah. Why do I say Melvin? It's Mervyn.
I don't know because...
Did he associate with him?
No, he doesn't associate with hardly anybody.
But Ben, what place was Ben staying at?
Downstairs.
In one of the rooms by himself?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So
but he was gone most of the time because he was always out drinking.
Uh-huh.
And...
Okay.
Okay, and he was on... he had a bad leg. And he would go sell his blood every week.
Down at the Plasma Center,
right.
Yeah. Right.
And he said he was going to go back to Marysville.
Okay. When did he say that?
When I told him that he had to leave.
When was that?
I can't remember what month it was. He was only there a couple of months.
2, 3 months ago?
Uh-huh. It was in the summertime sometime.
Now see, Mr. Sharp says that Ben was missing the same time as Montoya. The social worker says she was up in contact with Montoya up till about 3 months ago.
Okay.
And she says she has not heard hide nor hair from him.
Well, he really didn't want to see them.
But he'd attempted to, he went to detox on an occasion.
Twice.
Yeah, and he told him at detox, take me out of your home.
That was the whole scheme. Puente cashed those checks. As long as the money kept coming, the tenants behind it were, to her, an inconvenience that could be made to disappear.
I don't want to live there. And the social worker was on very good terms with him, to where she was...
Yes, Judy.
Right, and when he all of a sudden disappeared, she started thinking, what the heck's going on here? And then she got the inconsistent things about, you tell me that the guy was from, you didn't know where he went, and then she got a phone call and she says that you told her he went to Utah. I mean, there's a lot of things, Dorothea, that I don't understand.
I don't know where the man was going to take him.
Okay, but I mean, there's a lot, you see what I'm saying? There's a lot of inconsistencies there. Okay. And it can't explain his disappearance. It can't. Now, coupled with all of that, okay, coupled with all of that, and then we come and talk to you.
Could you put a tap on my phone and listen to my conversation, like if they call me?
No.
I would like you to do that.
To me, for me to be satisfied, I would have to physically see them.
Well, then couldn't you, once when the call came through, couldn't you monitor all the calls and then put a trace on the call?
I don't know how that works, to be truthful with you.
Because I would be willing to have that done,
Yeah.
you know.
But
Because I know he'll get in touch with me.
the other problem is this. You know, we go and talk to you. You're real good about it. And then we ask you for permission. You didn't even have to give us permission to look, but you were cooperating. You said, sure. You gave us permission to dig around in the yard and look around. And then we dig, and lo and behold, we find what looks like the remains of a human being, clothing and all.
But if it was Alvaro, Bert.
No, I don't think it's Alvaro. I don't think Alvaro, if it was in the ground, would be that decayed, to be truthful with you. Or Ben Fink, Now, I know that the concrete up in front of the shed hasn't been on the ground that long. I can tell.
Up in front of the shed?
You know where the rose bushes are? You put the roses in the little round circles?
Oh.
Notice how composed she is. There is no panic here, no desperation. She has done versions of this before. She had already been convicted of drugging people in order to rob them, and she was on parole when these crimes happened.
Yeah,
Right in front of the shed. Not in back of the shed where the garden area is, but in front there. It's about an inch thick.
Let me see, in there it's,
How about this last summer, maybe you put that down?
I'm trying to think how long ago. Maybe, it was it February or something like that.
Okay, because there was a trench there. There was an open trench there at one time. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we were looking for sewer lines.
Okay, so right in front of that was an open trench. And in fact, if my memory serves me right, that trench went this way and then along the fence on the side of that shed. Am I correct? Made like an L shape.
Okay, you mean...
Right where the concrete is now. Underneath that concrete there used to be, you had there was a ditch. A little ditch. You say you were looking for sewer.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now you know where I'm speaking about?
Yeah.
Okay, you know where the little shed is? Outdoors? Not in the back of the house. The one on the side of the house.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, let's say the garden is, okay, let's do it like this. Here's the garden area, okay? Then there's some concrete here, and then you have a shed right there. Okay, and then in front of the shed you have a little bit more concrete with little circles, and I believe those are some kind of bush. And then, let's see, you have another little, some kind of a patio thing here, and then that driveway goes out like that. See, and here's the front of the house. You know what shed I'm talking about right here? Okay, this area. You know that? Where the concrete's only about an inch thick. That looks like it hasn't been...
I thought that was about 3 inches thick.
Well, you can see it on the sides, dear. But what I'm saying is, that concrete hasn't been there that long. I'm no expert, but I know when I look at concrete, I've been around it long enough, that has not been there that long. Do you remember when that concrete was put down?
It had to be in the early part of the year then.
Okay. But that's what I'm saying. There was at one time a trench there. Am I wrong?
No.
The terms of that parole forbade her from handling government checks and from being around the elderly. She was doing both, openly, the entire time. The rules assumed she would be afraid of being caught. She simply was not.
It was about 2 feet deep.
2 feet deep, and it didn't run in an L shape like this.
No.
Which way did it go? It just went straight across?
Straight, yeah.
Okay, right in front of the shed area.
Wasn't even as long as this table.
Okay. You were looking for sewer then?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and that was, when was that? Was it summertime? Was it early part of the year?
It was probably March.
About March, okay. Now, and you have a shed back here.
I could have sworn it was last year, but it was this year.
So we know that concrete. Now, the concrete in front here, was that poured the same time as here?
Oh, no.
How long has this concrete been there?
Over a year.
Over a year, okay. And that's connected to the shed. And how long has the shed been there?
Over a year.
Okay. What was here before all that was put down?
Plants.
Plants and garden, that garden area, all dirt and stuff like that. Okay.
But it was so much for me to keep raking up.
Oh, I know. I know. Okay. Yeah, it would be. Okay, and then you have a little shed back here.
I mean, there was another family living downstairs at that time, you know. And
how long has that shed been there?
The metal shed?
Did you get it after you were out you got out in 1985? Did you put it up there, or was it there before then?
The metal shed? I put it up in God, that's when I have to remember.
I mean, was it after you got out in 1985?
Yeah.
Okay. So after 1985, you put it up, the shed. Okay. Now, back of your house, there are some trees planted here. How long have those trees been there? They seem to be rather new by the way the roots
do
not.
A couple months old.
Yeah, I can move them with my hand and I can see that the roots are not adhering to the soil.
I was going to take out because it was dying.
Okay. It appears that there was some digging in this back area there.
When tenants died, she did not call anyone. The bodies were buried in the garden of the boarding house, beneath the flowers she was known for tending. Neighbors complained about the smell and the digging. She always had an explanation.
Did you have any open trench areas back there?
There used to be a chicken coop there.
Where now? In this whole thing?
Yeah.
How long ago?
a year and a half ago.
Okay. When was the last time there was any digging back here? Because it appears that there has been some digging in there.
Yeah, let's see, that was this summer sometime.
What did you dig up? Was there another trench for sewer or anything?
Yeah, but there was nothing there. John and John dug some, and
Whereabouts? What area of it? Here are the trees right here. What area would it be?
all back in here.
This whole thing?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now over here you have a couple of big concrete. Those big look like bathtubs to me.
Oh, that came out of the upstairs.
Yeah. Anyway, how long have those been there?
3 or 4 years.
Okay, those have never budged. Okay, and then of course I was digging around over here, and then there's a big tree right here. Okay. But the only digging you know of. Okay, we know there was a trench. You dug a small trench right here. How deep was that?
Maybe 18 inches, 20 inches.
Foot and a half?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then you didn't find anything, you just buried it?
Uh-huh.
And then later on you laid concrete over the whole thing?
Yeah, I threw some, like, if you look in my kitchen, I have one bucket where I put my coffee grounds, eggshells and stuff. In fact, you'll find that all over the yard.
Okay.
You know.
Well, a lot of people do that. Have you ever had any, or had the need for any lye around the house?
Lye?
White powder lye?
We put some lime
Lime.
where did John put the lime? I forget if it was Lumberjack or a Capital Nursery told me that the ground is so hard.
Yeah.
Like if you go back and dig where the grass is, you know, where we put the grass in the front, they dug up about that much. If you walk across to the empty lot, you'll see the grass sitting there. And they dug about that much, and we put in, well, I didn't put lime there, but I put a bag of fertilizer.
Watch the rhythm of her answers. She is friendly, slightly confused, endlessly cooperative. It is the performance of a harmless old woman. And for a long time it worked on everyone, including the professionals sitting across from her.
And I think one bag of potting soil or something, and then.
Well, I noticed a lime back there in the soil.
Well, they said that the ground needed.
Yeah, but I also noticed in the hole we were digging there was some residue of lime. Would there be any reason to be lime 2 feet below in the soil?
Mm-mm.
None. You never put any down?
Never put.
Okay. How about John?
No.
Who did the digging back there for you? Who dug all these trenches?
I think John dug some. I tried, but I couldn't. I can't
Arthritis or something?
No, I have a bad heart, and I can't lift anything very heavy.
Okay. So John did most of the digging when it needed to be
Well,
done.
not always. I mean, sometimes I had, what do you call it, casual labor?
Yeah. Okay. Now, getting back to what we find in this hole here, do you have any knowledge of what was in that hole at any time?
Mm-mm.
Did John ever tell you about anything?
John?
Sure. Could he have put something in that hole?
I don't think so. He's had a quadruple bypass or whatever. You know, whatever he does, he has to.
How about Mr. Kelly?
No, he never does. He has a bad leg.
Okay.
The only thing he ever did was help take up some grass out by the sidewalk where I put some dichondra.
Have you done any digging up here in this area? Or is mainly all your digging is back in the side in here?
On the side, because I always have tomatoes and bell peppers and squash, chili peppers in the summertime. This area here, what's this here?
This is a driveway.
Oh, the
You got the
driveway?
concrete, you got some plastic
Oh.
over here.
Okay, that's from my grass that we just planted yesterday. But that was only dug up about this much.
What was in the middle there before?
Grass, but it was
Bad?
bad.
So you dug it up and you planted it.
The thread that finally unraveled it was a single missing tenant. A gentle, developmentally disabled man named Bert. Unlike the others, he had someone who cared. A social worker noticed he was gone and would not let it drop.
Yeah, and if you go look across the street from my house, you can see it.
I believe you. I believe you. Okay, now let's get back to this other thing here. Okay? I've got a man missing. Everything seems totally, nothing fits, Dorothea. That's what I'm trying to say. Nothing fits. Okay? And there's one of two things I can surmise. Okay? And that is, Mr. Montoya is dead.
No, he's not.
Okay, miss that. I'm just saying. I'm trying to surmise this, and then we'll try to clear this up. That he is dead, and that either John McCauley or what is it, Mervyn,
John, no.
either killed him, or that maybe he met foul play by your hands. That's my alternatives. I don't know. But my other alternative is that the fact that somewhere in that backyard, Dorothea, that he's lying, maybe along with other people.
No.
Okay? And I'm also going to tell you that we had this same information a year ago. A year ago? Yes. A year ago. So, what I'm telling you is not new to me.
Monday, can I hire a contractor to go in and tear everything down and dig it up to prove to you that there's nobody there?
If any digging has to be done, we're going to do the digging.
Oh, okay.
Okay? What I'm trying to do is, right now, save a lot of painstaking trouble. A lot of time and a lot of trouble. And what I'm asking you, my bottom line is what I'm truly asking you, Dorothea.
Sir, I have never killed anybody.
Maybe not you, but how about Mr. McCauley?
What reason would he have to kill anybody?
Well, I know...
That one persistent question, where is Bert, brought police to the boarding house. When they began to dig in the yard, the kind landlady's decades-long story started coming apart in the soil.
We're going to find out if... about the checks, okay, the Social Security checks. And I know that you're past, you've been in some trouble with...
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And I remember when you were arrested and you were in the B, remember in 1982 when you were slipping Mickeys to people? Taking their money?
I didn't do that. I admitted to that to get the trial over with.
Okay, but you still were convicted of it and sentenced to it.
Right.
Okay. The similarities are there. The only thing that's different now is the fact, rather than take something and let it go, you get rid of them, and nothing's ever found. Now here's a man from Costa Rica or Timbuktu that really nobody cares about. Just like, just like Mr. Kelly said, he says, hey, when you're nobody, you're nobody. Nobody cares. So you disappear, you're a transient, or you're a bum, or you're an alcoholic.
I cared
a lot
for
of people
him.
think nobody ever cares.
I cared for him. I bought him clothes. I treated him very, very good.
Have you seen Ben Fink around?
No. I told him not to ever come back on the property.
But he was normally a regular around town. And you know what?
But he's lived in Marysville before.
Dorothea, if he'd have been in Marysville, he'd have been arrested. That's how Ben was. You know how Ben was.
No, I only knew him
drunk.
for 2 months.
He'd get drunk. He'd get a little goofy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then usually end up getting arrested, taking a detox or something. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Gone. What am I to think? What am I to think after hearing this a year and following along, watching, waiting, and then all of a sudden, lo and behold, I dig up a body in your backyard?
I don't know anything. I didn't even see the body.
It may be, and you may be. That may be true. That's why I'm asking you. I'm appealing to you.
They would recover 7 bodies. And here is the detail that defines her nerve. While officers were still at the property, Puente calmly asked to walk to a hotel for a cup of coffee. They let her go. She kept walking all the way out of the city.
Dorothea?
Sir, I don't know anything
I'm going to
about
ask you right now again. Are there any other bodies
No.
in your backyard?
Not that I didn't even know that one was there.
Did Mr. McCauley put any other bodies in the backyard?
You have to ask Mr. McCauley.
Okay, and I intend to. Okay.
Yes.
And that's why I'm asking you. Because if it has to be said, I want it said right now. Let's clear it up. Let's not get into something that maybe isn't there. I want to know. I want you to be truthful with me.
Sir, I didn't even know that body was there.
Okay.
If I had it, I would have said, no, don't search the yard, you know. But I had nothing to hide. I don't want to go back to prison.
Well, I realize that.
I'm an old lady.
I realize that too.
I'm trying to get off parole. I'm trying to get my life together.
But Dorothea, that all the indications, everything doesn't make any sense is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm appealing to you. I'm appealing to you, Dorothea. That's what I'm saying is nothing makes sense. Nothing. Everything you said was inconsistent with what somebody else said. When you sat in there, it was like sticking your foot in your own mouth. I couldn't believe you were telling me that. Because I thought, wait a minute. Something is wrong here. And then when I talked to Mr. McCauley, he couldn't even substantiate what you were saying. And here's a man that's lived there 4 years.
No, he
almost
lived there
4 years in March.
No, he's been there 2 years.
Well, he says 4 years in March.
Well, he couldn't remember that I'd gotten out in '85.
But he was living there before you then, right?
No.
Dorothea, I know if we dig, we're going to find more. I know that. I know that.
Well, I didn't put him there. I couldn't drag a body any place.
I believe that. But I believe there's somebody else involved here. Somebody else. Because here's people that are still getting checks and they haven't even been seen. Hiding her hair, Dorothea.
She fled to Los Angeles and might have vanished for good, but her own face betrayed her. A man she met recognized her from the news coverage and called the police. The grandmother the whole country was now looking for had nowhere left to hide.
You have to look at it from my view, dear. I look at it and I think nothing makes sense. This is absolutely
Sir,
goofy.
I have not killed anybody.
Maybe you didn't kill anybody. That may be true. But maybe you know what really happened.
No, I don't.
I think you know about Mr. Montoya. Because Mr. Montoya is not in Costa Rica. Mr. Montoya is not in Utah.
Costa Rica.
Where is he? He's in that backyard, I believe, Dorothea. He is in that backyard or he's been disposed of some other manner.
Not by me.
Then by Mr. McCauley.
I don't
Dorothea, I'm asking you.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think
I want to know
John
what
could
you
do
know.
it.
I want to know what you know. You know, you are the leader of the house. You have the background. Okay? You've been there before. You know what I'm talking about.
I have never killed anybody in my life.
Then who did kill somebody? Mr. McCauley?
I don't know.
Tell me now.
I don't know, sir.
Tell me now,
I don't
Dorothy.
know.
When did Mr. Montoya really disappear? When? Let's be honest with me. Be real honest with me.
October, September.
That's when the last time you saw him.
I saw him this weekend.
Sunday.
Yes.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. Everybody else says, no, he hasn't been around. Why would they tell us that?
I don't know.
Why? Why would they tell us that? Why would Mr. Sharp tell me that you promised to do some things for him
I did not.
If he lied for you?
I asked Mr. Sharp to move. That's why he's mad
I'm
at
going
me.
to bring him in here, and I'm also going to bring Mr. McCauley in here. Okay. Would you have any problems with taking a polygraph test? You know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
That's a, well, quote, lie detector. Would you have any problems with taking that?
Right now?
If I was to set up something today, would you have a problem with that? Would you take it?
No. I'd take it Monday.
Why Monday?
Because I'm too nervous right now.
At trial, her defense leaned on the very image she had spent a lifetime building. How could this frail church-going old woman possibly be a killer? It very nearly worked. The jury convicted her of 3 murders and deadlocked on the rest.
Remember, nerves play a part of it, but if you were telling the truth, it can pull that out of there. The machine works on if you're lying, it's going to say you're lying, Dorothea. If you're telling the truth, wiggling and shaking.
I always look like I'm lying because I'm nervous because I've been in prison.
Dorothea, you sit where a lot of people are sitting, I know. And I'm not taking the idea, I'm not using that against you that you've been in prison. Okay? When I say, you know what
Once a person has been in prison, the police officers, that's...
Not so. Not
yes,
so.
It is.
You know, but I'm saying it's the background. It's the background. It's not like you were in there for something else. What I'm asking for is, nothing makes sense here, Dorothea. Nothing makes sense. Everything you said, you can't really substantiate. Mr. McCauley tells me another thing. Mr. Sharp tells me another thing, and I've got a guy that's been missing for at least 2.5, 3 months.
I have not...
And a social worker that says, I've been working with the guy all the time, and he just up and leaves, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute.
And then all of a sudden, they didn't want anything to do with him.
And then, yeah, no, that's not so. That's not so. She worked with him. She worked with him. She's the one that made the report.
I know it, and I was going
to. But then
to.
what I'm saying is, I hear this a year ago. A year ago I hear this.
I didn't have him a year ago.
No, not him. I heard about other people. You know what I heard? I heard, hey, Dorothea, over at 1426 F Street, killing people and burying them in their backyard. How do you explain the body in the backyard?
I don't
2.5 feet down.
I don't
with
know.
Clothing and everything
know.
with it. How?
When you find out how old it is and see that I didn't have anything to do with that.
What if it's only a year old? What if it's 2 years old? What if it goes back and it's going to be in between that 1978 and 1982? How are you going to explain that? It isn't old enough that it's already, the bones are disintegrating. I can tell you. They look like there's flesh still there.
I didn't know bones disintegrated.
You know, that's what I'm trying to say. Then what are you going to...
Dorothea Puente was sentenced to life and died in prison in 2011. What makes this tape so unsettling is not a confession or an outburst. It is the calm. The most dangerous manipulator rarely raises their voice. They simply make you want to believe them. If this breakdown held your attention, subscribe to Aivest for more. New cases at aivest.ru. Thanks for watching.